Do recording. Okay. I think this is our first trial run, or my first trial run on Zoom. I got Brian Garrahan here tonight. He's a bad dude. I've known Brian for a pretty long time now. He was initially pretty much one of the first factory KTM guys before it was like factory KTM, him and his brother Pat back in the day. And Brian, did everything basically GNCCs, OMAs before those disappeared. You made the mistake of doing works races too. I feel
Oh,
like
wow.
uh, District 36 multi-time champ, national hair scramble. Do you win national hair scramble championship too? I'm pretty sure.
Regional.
Oh, just regional. Oh, the Western one or whatever.
Yeah, and didn't win
Yeah,
when it was a national, I didn't win that. Got a second a couple of times, but
yeah.
Fred Andrews and Chuck Woodford and uh Bla Doug Blackwell. Yeah.
They all
Asked,
got you.
yeah, they got me a few times.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Brian is he just has a huge presence in Northern California, pretty much across the board from all the District 36 races. And now also with the Donner US Hard Enduro race. I mean, we got the district race going on at the same time. I know you're a busy guy because you got all your clinics too, so I'm glad you can hop on and chat here. But I just kind of wanted to chat with you about a little bit about your past and kind of what you're up to now, I guess.
Yeah. That's uh you got some questions or do you want me to just
Yeah, I mean, so like obviously people know that you're the promoter of this race, but a lot of people don't know like your history. Like you and your brother basically traveled the United
yeah,
States like what, early 2000s, late
before
1990s.
that, really how it started, to be honest with you, was, I didn't really ride that much. I rode dirt bikes, but I didn't ride that much. And then my brother went and did this thing called like the ISD qualifiers. And he was probably 19 years old and he qualified for the world junior team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even know it was. So he
Yeah,
went
he
to
just showed up
Holland.
and did this race.
He went to Holland. And I'm like, you're that good? He's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I guess. I'm like, dude. And then he went to the ISDE 6 days. I mean, we were so rookie and dumb. He didn't even bring an extra air filter. He
Yeah.
didn't bring extra brake
Yeah.
pads. He didn't know what to do. He got there. What do I do? They're like,
Or extra tires or anything like that either.
no, nothing. So he didn't even change an air filter or brake pads or tires the whole time. First off, he didn't have anything, but like it was just like it was in Holland and it like rained the whole time, so it was like below sea level. So like it was like just like the biggest mud race I've ever seen in my life. Like a guy would go by and water would just fill it in again, and it was just like, oh my god. And he didn't even have a time card. He lost his time card the first day. He's like, I rode because everyone was super late. Like they had to let everyone back in after the day one because like basically like 95% of the people houred out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he didn't hour out, but he just didn't even have a time card. He was just riding. He just like had to check and fill up and just
Go, keep going.
yeah, the old days. But
So you did 6 days a couple times too. So like your brother went, who now
yeah,
works,
so he
he's
went,
in.
yeah. And that was 93. And then the next year was in Oklahoma in the US. And that was a super cool experience because of the US and,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that was 94. I think I just got a
94.
call yesterday about it. It's the reunion,
Yeah, the
city
reunion year.
reunion, and I did get an invite to go, but I don't think I'm
Yeah.
gonna
My
go.
brother's talking about going, so I might actually go too. I think it's like in November if I'm if I'm correct.
Yeah. September, it's end of September, I think, near the
Yeah.
end of September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the qualifiers for there and it was super cool because like every factory was there because in the USA. So, it's like Husky and KTM and Kawasaki and Honda and Suzuki and who else am I missing? Yamaha, and I ended up qualifying for actually my dad told me this story this the other day, like a month ago. So my brother broke his wrist like right in one of the qualifiers, but they had a camp for people to go to the camp to go try out. So my brother went to the camp even though he had a broken wrist. And my dad's like, "Oh, you're gonna go too." So I went too. I wasn't even invited. And I rode, and I guess I did so good in the test in the special test that they chose me and put me on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, I broke my wrist the first day, so
Oh geez.
that was the
That
end
kind
of
of
my
screwed you out
end
of
of
it.
my my glory for the 6 days in that year.
Yeah.
So yeah, from there on out, it's just 6 days. Got a Team Green ride for like 95 and 96. And then in 97, got a support ride from Chuck's son riding KTM's,
Yeah.
right?
That's pretty wild.
Can't have a story without Chuck's son in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chuck's son was our support rider. And then 97, and then in 98, I won the National Hare Scramble in 1998. And I was just a support rider. And literally what I got for winning the hare scramble, the National Hare Scramble in 1998, FMF sent me a gear bag.
Yeah. You're like sick.
I remember I called up KTM and I talked to Penton, and I'm like,
Oh
do I like
yeah.
get like paid or something like that? They're like, no, you don't get paid. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that sucks, you know. And
Yeah.
then, the next year, uh, God, I'm gonna draw a blank. Who was the I shouldn't know who he is. Who's the guy that used to own KTM? He passed away.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
God, I'm drawing a blank. I know I'm drawing a
it
blank.
wasn't Penn. Penn was the one behind it, kind
And it
of,
was behind
but
it. Man, I should know this. I know his son's name's Robbie. Robbie. God damn it, darn it. Anyways, the guy that owned KTM back at the time, he was old school legend. And so me and my brother were in 99, we're literally on our way back to Ohio or something to do a ISD qualifier. And we went into the factory at KTM in Amherst, and on a piece of paper, he wrote up a contract with us on a piece of paper.
yeah.
And not to like to make us feel better. Here's Grant Langston's contract. Here's Shane Watts's contract. Here's Jeff Russell's contract, and they're all just on a piece of binder
All
paper.
like a
And it's
napkin
just
almost.
handwritten on a piece of binder paper. And we're like, yeah, we'd like 2 bikes. He's like, oh yeah, 2 bikes.
Dude, that's crazy that it's changed that much now. Like
Yeah, I know, super
it used
crazy.
to be just such a small company and now it's just completely grown out of control. That would not fly anymore.
Rod Bush, that's
Rod
his
Bush. Okay,
Rod
yeah,
Bush.
I remember that name.
Yeah, Rod Bush. That was the owner of KTM, and he'd be smoking cigarettes in the office, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your contract. Yep. And then yeah, rode KTM for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
quite a long time. You had a Yamaha stint, back to
I did
KTM
it. Yeah, I went to
again.
Suzuki for a couple years. Then I had broke my leg, and then I had a good Yamaha stint. Yamaha was probably one of my favorite bikes. Was the Yamaha, like the 08, 09 Yamaha.
Yeah, I remember seeing photos or something. I remember you won like the National Hare Scramble at Hollister and a mutter, and I think you run it on the 450 or something maybe one year.
Yeah, I used to have I won Hollister like four or 5 years in a row. I used to have like a bounty on
Yeah,
the
Bounty, who could beat you?
Cycle News. They'd have a bounty on the back of the Cycle News,
Yeah.
dollars,
Yeah, the good old days when
Good
we could
old,
read Cycle News.
yeah.
Well, obviously you were quite an accomplished racer and like I mean, I'm kind of like you, but not like you. Like you and your brother grew up deep in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I grew up around the Santa Cruz Mountains, but I grew up trials riding. And I feel like I have to bring up my first memory of you because I think you came out to my house, my parents' house on trials bikes. And I remember you had a rat tail. That's all I remember. You had like a rat tail hanging out the back
Yeah, the ramp
of
time
your
was
helmet. And it was like
gigantic.
you and I think Billy Russell showed up, who he's won a national enduro,
Yep.
the Quicksilver one once, and your brother. And you guys came over and rode trials. And I'm like, who are these? I mean, I was like probably 10 years old or something like that. I'm like, who are these crazy guys? And then your dad used to put on like a trials event sometimes with the Ridge Runners Motorcycle Club in the mountains. I remember.
We used to put on a ISD qualifier at our parents' house, and we used to
Oh,
have a
geez, that's crazy.
yeah, we used to trials event, and that's back when trials events, and then that's when the XR 100 racers were big. So we used to have like a big XR.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember going like once or twice when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
So, and then, I started racing enduro bikes and dirt bikes. I mean, I raced against you a few times.
Yeah, I remember the first time I raced against you when you're allowed to ride big bikes was at Metcalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
went to
you
Metcalf.
beat me. I rode the A class. You beat me.
You're like 250A.
Yeah, I rode
Yeah,
250A. I did win
I
250A
did
though.
250A.
But everyone was like, you can't sign up pro. They won't let you, or they won't like you have to sign up C. And I'm like, I'm not signing up C. So I just signed up A and no one said anything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I was 11th overall or 10th. But I can't tell you, I crashed so hard there like multiple times because I didn't know what I was doing. And you're like a dumb young kid, so you just take off pinned and weed yourself and get up, and you learn with age that
Doesn't work.
That doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Well, anyways, I know you got the training thing. I'll talk about that later because I know you've been at that for a really long time now, and I've definitely taken a lot out of it. But I do want to chat about Donner. And obviously, did you ever do Last Man Standing with your brother when they had that in 06, 05, 06 range?
No, my brother did it twice. I was invited, but I forget for some reason. I think I was hurt or something like that. I had like
Yeah,
a knee or shoulder, so I didn't go. But I remember my brother went and he did it twice. I think he got like a
yeah,
top five or something like that the first year. And that's when David Knight was badass and winning everything. And
yeah. The bad dude. Jeff Aaron probably got second.
yeah, so but no,
Well, like obviously I've ridden with you quite a bit throughout the years, and like whenever I go out on a ride with you and your brother, it's going to be a long day in the saddle, and you definitely take pride in showing up back to the truck with like an empty tank of gas, like coasting downhill normally. I remember another
yeah,
time,
get the sun to cut perfect.
yeah, sun's coming down, out of gas. I remember one time Nick Farringer came out and we rode, down there at Clear Creek area, and a kid from Ohio was out, and we got snowed on, and it was completely dark. And I think you were the only person with a headlight, so we are all following you in the snow. And the kid from Ohio, Justin So, didn't have a jacket. I remember it being a pretty miserable ride, but it was a memorable one. I didn't forget about it. So then when you
It's
started
good
doing
ride.
the
One you
when
don't
you
forget about.
yeah, when you started doing like the hard enduro event, and obviously Donner's like the perfect venue for a hard enduro. I mean, it's so spectator friendly. I think that's where you have one up on a lot of the other races, is people can actually see what we're doing out there and see the carnage, as you call it. But yeah, I was super excited that you basically put your foot forward out there and went for it. But it's changed a lot. I mean, the first year it was a tough scramble. Like it was a hard race. It was more of just an absolute beatdown because the pace was a little bit higher. And
Yeah.
then you've definitely answered the calling, because I feel like last year was a really solid event. It was probably one of my more favorite ones, even with some of the notorious Donner silt bombs that we get out there. But the conditions were pretty good in a lot of the trees last year. I'll give you that.
Last year it was pretty as good as it's going to get, Donner, I think, unless you
Yeah.
hit the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I raced Donner like back in like the 90s, like in 95, 96, and I actually won it. It was one of my first, hair scramble wins in District 36. So, and then I'm a promoter now, and I had a proposal, and I wrote a proposal to all the ski resorts, all the country clubs, all the casinos, trying to find a.
Yeah.
And this was back when like 16 or 15, when there was no snow and stuff. And one year they just emailed me back and, hey, you still interested in doing a race? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, and the owner Marshall was super cool. And I got a District 36 race, and we started there. And then it became a District 36 combined with the West Hare Scramble, so Tristan was actually racing this race back, way back in the day. I think you were racing it too
Yeah.
back in
I raced it.
the so
Ty Tremaine raced
I
it.
Tremaine raced it, yeah, a bunch of Travis Coy.
Travis Coy, Tucker, before he got hurt, he was killing it there.
So there's a lot of notorious names. JT Baker, obviously,
I
and
think it was actually a Western National one year too, because I
yeah,
remember I raced it, and like 2 years in a row, I think it was a Western
first
National.
first
Yeah.
first in then, yeah. It was a West Harris Scramble for like 2 years, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to beat him down because the terrain, and I wanted to make it a
You,
super
you
tough
can't you
race.
can't give them an easy race there,
Yeah.
like unless you're at a fire road, and even then it's still gonna probably be tricky.
But now, with a hard enduro, I can ease up on them a little bit. I haven't to put them through all the miserable stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's pretty good. And then just the terrain's so good. Me and Pat, with my brother Patrick, we would always walk in and be, oh, it's so rad to have a hard enduro, so rad to have a hard enduro, so rad.
Yeah.
And this, just same thing, just calling around and making it happen. And now we have a hard enduro, and just like you said, like I didn't really know, I just seen videos and didn't really know and that much, and had the first year, like you said, it was just more of a tough hair scramble. And now I kind of have a better perspective and kind of know what's going on. And I think it's became, one of the premier events, definitely in the series. Super cool obstacles, with all the different terrain. You can change it and
Yeah.
just configure it, and make it different every year, which I think is super cool. Sometimes you're just kind of stuck in the same ravine every year, but with how the granite is and stuff, you can kind of change the course and just if you got a lot of ribbon, you can make whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Uh,
getting to that, I saw, I was at the trials event a couple weeks ago, the national trials they had there. I haven't had
oh
one.
God, did that give you some ideas on what to
That gave
do
me
or?
some ideas. Yeah, yeah, it gave me some ideas. So we got definitely some different inspiration from the trials event that we
Yeah.
so
Did your
yeah.
brother ride the trials event? I think I
Yeah,
saw
Pat
him.
rode the trials on
Yeah, I
Saturday. So
saw his
yeah,
name
so
on
I'm like, yeah, I'll mine for you. You know what I mean? I like hung out with them for like the first six section. I'm like, yeah, you guys suck.
the.
I'm gonna wait for Spag to come by. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
dude?
that's pretty
But
good.
yeah, it was super cool. It's a good event, really, really clean event. But they did like
A shootout I saw.
shoot at the end, and it was awesome, dude. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like, total world stage
Yeah,
caliber.
they completely up the ante and then it's
Oh
right there
man,
for all the
it was
spectators.
every bit of it. You know what I mean? I was like right on the line, just like
Uh,
yeah, super.
well, I mean, I know this like last year we did the 2 hour or so hare scramble. That was part of the district race as a qualifier.
Yeah,
This year it's like a separate prologue, right? So is it
yeah.
going
The
to be just
prologue's
a
separate this
shorter?
year. The prologue is going to start basically at a slab.
Yeah.
We're gonna like at 2 o'clock. We're gonna stage you guys like down at the bottom of the hill of the arch, and then we'll when the district race gets done at 2:30 or whatever, we'll have you guys all go up, and then we'll stage you all, and then we'll start you off. We'll start at slab, and it'll go into slab, and then it'll go over into spectator hill, and it's gonna do the spectator hill backwards,
Okay.
and then it's gonna go down the trail to down into the pits, and then it'll turn to a horseshoe, and then go up the right next to the magic carpet through the rocks,
Yeah.
right, and do another
Oh
horse.
yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and do another horseshoe and back to the finish.
So it's just like give me a 1 lap time trial or
Yeah, it'd be like a for you guys it'd probably be like 7 minutes, right? And
yeah.
then for the sea riders, 20 minutes or something like that.
And is it one person at a time every X amount
I
of
think
minutes
you'd
or
have to add,
mass
I think
start?
Matt, when I were walking it today, I think Matt said 5 at a time is what I heard from him.
Okay.
I think Matt has kind of more running that, but
Yeah, just to get it moving a little bit quicker and
yeah, because we do start like it starts at 3 o'clock. So
yeah, and then I guess next thing you know, it's super late and
yeah,
people we got live music up top, we got
yeah, we
like
got to
back.
listen to music at six
Yeah.
thirty. So we got other
Yeah.
stuff to do besides watch you and dorky enduro guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
But
think that'll
it
be
should be a good
cool.
show, because it's right in the rocks and stuff. So it shouldn't be like a really, shouldn't be all dusty and all like that. Just in the rocks.
Yeah.
It'll be a good show. And what'll be cool about it is where you guys are staging is we got the hill climb going at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So you guys be able to check out the hill climb as you're staged, and watching it. So it'll be kind of right. The hill climb and the hard enduro will be right, right in between each other in that section. So it'll be kind of cool.
Sweet. And then last year, the course was, I mean, obviously it's not a circle, but it was kind of run like um whatever, like opposite of the clock. What do you call that? I don't even know right now.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah, counterclockwise. I'm an idiot right now.
Yeah.
But is it going to be like more or less the same
Pretty much the
direction?
same direction. It'll go up to the left up the fire road. We do have a water truck this year. Anson Mahoney is going to bring
Oh,
us water,
sweet.
and he's actually going to water the fire road for you guys.
That's cool.
Yep. So the first fire road will be watered. We're going to
Yeah.
actually have a section off the start, and you go right down in the trees. I don't know, 2 years ago, if you remember, we at the very end we had a little tree section.
I wasn't here. I was hurt, I think. So I missed it.
We're actually going to slow you guys down before you guys even hit the fire road too.
Oh, cool.
So
That'll
we
be
get
good,
it
I think.
right out before, you know what I mean? So you want to be racing one or two guys, but it will be watered, and that only the fire road. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it'll be the same. It'll be a different crossover. I have another section to some fallen trees to slow you guys down again a little bit more before you guys get to Spectator Hill, so this doesn't bottle up as much for the amateur riders.
Yeah.
Which there'll be the same course. I added some sections into Spectator Hill. There's actually going to be a check in Spectator Hill. So actually with the sea riders will
So you kind of just maybe weaving us around a little bit more to give us
yeah, I
some
mean a
more
little more
time. I mean, the
difficult.
real estate's there.
Real estate's
To,
there and Spectator Hill, and last
yeah.
year we kind of just got out too fast, I thought. So I want to keep
Yeah, last year we went up and made like a little chicane and then got right back up it again. So
it's going to keep you guys. You can do the up and down kind of over back of where the
yeah,
where
I think that'll be good. I think that's good.
yeah.
The Spectator Hill, like the main big one, that's more of a mental thing, right? Like it's really not that bad. And The big one is that one where the bike launch. You remember the dude took out the beer? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
the good one.
that's the good one.
I'm assuming that's in again.
Oh, always.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
okay.
that's Spectator Hill, right? You know
Yeah.
what
That's the entry to Spectator Hill.
I mean? That is the I should spray paint it, right?
Yeah.
But
Sweet.
and then bear trap, kind of bear trap with the same. I changed up bear. I shortened bear claw a little bit because I made granite a little bit longer because I got some inspiration. I said from
Oh yeah.
so you guys have a little bit more. Again, it's good. You have more time in the rocks. That's everyone's favorite
Yeah. And it's
thing.
out of the dust.
It's out of
That
the
part
depth.
nice.
So yeah, and then same thing with Double A Hill. I'm not gonna let you guys get out of the rocks. You know, you guys
Yeah, I saw the post you made or someone made and how we turn it in the rocks. So I'm
guys always you guys make it so try and make it so easy on yourselves. So
yeah.
get out of the ribbons as much as you can.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we'll make it. It's just gonna be a
okay,
pain
you
in the
guys, it's
ass.
crazy how like it's so rocky and you guys just like bench it in. I get down, I'm like,
Yeah.
how this is like a berm now, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's ain't fair.
Nice run at it. I remember my first lap coming down, I was like, holy shit, like everything was moving on me. And then by the last lap, it was kind of just like send it blind and you'll be all right at the bottom. It kind of gets
Go
burnt in.
down sketchy. Yeah, and then we added more in the tombstone. So you guys were like last year, you remember you just kind of went up. You know, this
Yeah,
year
and around.
you can more side angle it and do some more side, same thing, not get out of the rocks. You don't get the run for the hill.
Yeah.
Um, and then
I saw the creeks in again. Is there water in the creek? Probably.
a little bit. It's not
Not
running, but
much.
there's water, you know, splat to splash the rocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, it gets carried, you know?
Yeah, I had a little bit of more into sticks and stones, a couple more logs across,
Yeah.
a few more logs in the free firewood. You know, you guys keep bashing the logs and breaking,
Yeah.
breaking.
Well, it's so like they kind of just fall apart. It's not our fault.
But what I did is, you know, since it is dry, is I separated pretty much as I could. I pretty much separated the hair scramble from the hard enduro as much as I could.
Oh, to try and keep it
Yeah,
fresh.
there's not as much, you know, common course as it was last year.
Couple few spots here and there. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
after,
you did a lot of work then to try and keep us happy, huh?
yeah, so I made a whole new from like half pipe. I just stayed. Last year we dropped down and went to trees in the middle, but so this year I just made a new trail for the hard enduro. You guys are just gonna stay up and you're just gonna basically like side angle
Yeah.
across the whole backside and make me a new trail.
Yeah, for next year.
Make me, yeah, for next year for the hair scramble.
It'll be a downhill for the hair scramble
Yeah,
next
thanks
year.
guys.
Yeah. Sweet.
What's really
Well,
cool in my ideas, you know, like, you know, you're Tristan's in front, right? And then you get in the new trail, and he's kind of looking for the trail, and you're able to suck him back in, and you catch back up and make the pass.
yeah, I guess
The
yeah, it
pass in no
helps.
way, right? And then there we go, and then boom, there you're out front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make the race good.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Is okay, there was the nasty little thing before you get to the finish last year. We went up a little dry creek and there was that zero run up.
Yeah, second
And
cry.
that's in, right?
Yeah, no, it's just so dry. I took it out, but what I
Oh,
did do
okay.
is there's all that gray stuff at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I made you guys go up in that gray stuff on the bottom.
Okay.
So you
Just because
could
it's so dry, there's not much traction on that
just
higher.
stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys would just sit there
And
and
it was pretty bottlenecked last year. It was a pretty tough spot.
wasn't that's that. Just yeah, I just think it would just fall apart too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they had a trial section there, so you guys grew up the splatter. You know, going into it, you guys would come out of the woods. And you're gonna do like a splatter right in the gray stuff, and then you have to like side angle, and then like the good guys can if you walk it right, the good guys can get up high and hopefully like side angle the gray stuff. You know,
Yeah.
not so good guys will have to drop down and then work their way back.
Regroup and try and get back up.
Back up again. So it'll still be a good section, but that was a cool hill last year. So there will be less hill climbs just because of the conditions. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
hard. And I can't really blow the ski slope hills up because that's how they make their money. So I can't ruin the ski slopes, you know. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're fortunate enough that it's also private property and now you're buddies with the owner because, you know, if you ever try to do something like this on a national forest ski resort, it'd be like only crossways across the hill allowed,
well,
no straight ups at all.
the GM has a bike. He traded in his old 450 and got a Yamaha now, and he's been riding the course every day. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
then
the owner.
yeah, he's all broken in. I'm like, oh, you gotta stop riding the course on Thursday.
So he's hooked, huh?
The hair scramble, you know, but he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
What class should I ride? The 250C or the 250 vet, you know?
I think the thing I'm most excited about is just like the fact we get to go there and do it, and they had like the owner has like he's pumped on this stuff, especially when you tell me that, and like they had trials there for
Yeah.
the first time since 2010 because I think they had a accidental issue where some guys went out and didn't know where they were and ended up on the PCT trail, and
Yeah. There's
they
people
got
out.
kind of mad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Even back in the day when they used to have the world round, like when Norm owned it, they were like, Norm was telling me they had to be like across the tracks on the other side, and they were way down by Donner Lake. They were so far off the prop. They're like 20 miles off the property.
yeah.
I was
Well, I
like,
remember
geez,
we were
man.
at the national one year, and like some of my buddies were on those Montesa four strokes, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously they get better fuel economy. They rode the train tracks all the way down into Truckee, and then they were like ripping the skate park in Truckee on their
Exactly.
trials bikes,
Yeah. And then back on up to the race
and
course.
then they rode all the way back up.
Yep. Sounds like dirt bikers.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm camping this year. I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah,
I
your
got
mechanic
a
broke down. Your mechanic called us. He broke down. So I don't know if you're gonna have a bike. So
I'm driving out with my own bike then. I'll be there. But yeah, I'm camping out. I'm pretty stoked to be. I don't know. I have a lot of history there personally with the trials events. Like my dad rode the world rounds there, one of them, two of them in the 80s and then like 94.
yeah, you
So I
probably
was
rode
at,
like 10, 12 years old, right? On a trials bike.
yeah, I was there when I was pretty young. And we used to do like local pits events there, the Pacific International Trial Society. So like they're the ones that put on the nationals. So, I grew up going there. So like the fact that I get the opportunity to race there, I pretty much take it and show up any chance I can.
And you wrapped up your trials championship. Your only one and only trials champion at
Yeah,
Donner.
my one and only one, 2010.
Nice. At Donner, right?
Never forget. Yeah, I wore the onesie, dude. I had the sausage suit on.
Yeah, the one and only sausage suit time.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
suit.
I actually talked to Pat last weekend before the trial,
Yeah,
Smodgy, and he was like, the only time I was ever ashamed that you beat me is when you won the onesie.
the onesie. Yeah, so getting to that, my brother's showing up to the trials, right? And he doesn't have any rules. We're like, oh, you gotta have your name on the bikes. We're like, I got a Sharpie, you know what I mean? We're like, wrote his name,
Yeah, right.
his name on the back of the jersey. You need a number on there, you know? We're like, oh, no worries.
No worries, we'll make
Take
this
that
work.
thing,
Get some
yeah,
duct tape.
duct tape, yeah.
Uh,
Good times.
well, I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I got a good information about the race. Pretty excited about it, but I do
Yeah, I'll
want to
give you a
chat
little
with
more
you.
information. You guys want some, you know? Just a little bit. We're
We
gonna have,
can't give away too much stuff,
well, I'll
but
give you just a little bit, not too much though. We're gonna have 7 checks,
okay,
Spectator Hill,
okay.
Bear Trap,
Bears crap. Yeah, bear. That's what I
Bear
figured.
Trap, End of the World,
Oh, way out there. Yeah.
Double A Hill,
Okay.
No Way, and then we took out. Everyone's gonna do waterfall this year, and then we're gonna have I added in Top of the World, but we made it a little bit more difficult because you guys already notched in the line. So
Yeah, top of the world. I don't really remember how it was last year. It was just kind of we
no,
rode
we
the
didn't
road
have
up,
top. Yeah,
or
we just went right through it last year.
yeah, you just rode up there. Yeah.
So we
Okay.
added top of the. We took out waterfall and added Top of the World.
Uh, we didn't. There was no check at end of the world. Oh, there was at the beginning.
It was. Remember the splatter? Remember the splatter?
Yeah, that was at the beginning. It wasn't really. I feel like
Yeah.
there was a lot more after that that you surprised the hell out of me on that first lap. I was like, what the? Yeah. I got there. I was like, holy shit, this is kind of gnarly.
Yeah. So we changed that a tiny bit, just added a little bit more granite in there, but pretty much the same.
Yeah. No, that was a cool section back there.
Super fun back there.
I do want to chat with you about some of the training side of things,
Yeah.
obviously, because I have like this goes on like the online training thing I have, but I know you've been at it for quite a while now. And honestly, like a lot of times when I do like my in-person training stuff, I bring up a lot of the stuff because I think I helped you out at a couple clinics you did back in the day. And, I took a lot from that, mostly like the balls of your feet, like gripping the bike and showing how, like, if you're on the balls, how much more control you have on the stand versus being on your heels. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot you can take away from other people's methods. So I feel like it's always good for people to just not always be stuck with the same person, like go and get other viewpoints to learn more. But I mean, you look at some of the riders you've helped train, like some of them aren't riding anymore, but like look at the Oliveira brothers, like both factory KTM now. Not saying you did everything for them, but like, man, you had a huge, like
Impact.
pivotal point for them growing up. And I think you and your brother, you teach grit when it comes to riding, and those kids have it for sure.
Yeah, don't wear tear offs when you ride. Don't bring water when you ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't
Uh,
you wear out a glove and you got a hole in your finger. Don't worry about it. Just ride with
just
that
keep
glove.
riding. Yeah, you'll be all right.
It might happen when you race. You know what I mean? And you don't
Yeah.
want something that messing with your mind. You got a dot on your goggle. You know what I mean? Or you got dirt inside your lens or something stupid like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Oliveira boys. They were dirty and gritty kids. To be honest with you, they showed up the first class they showed up to. They had two sisters too, and they showed up late. And I was doing the go slow drill, static balance and clutch
Yeah.
and all that combination. And they just kind of rode in the drill. And all of a sudden, like the only ones that could actually like use the clutch and balance. And I'm like, who are these people? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know who they were because they're late. You know what I mean? This kind of
But
rolled.
they were able to do everything right off the
Yeah,
bat.
right off the bat. They even have to like, you didn't even like tell them what to do. They're like, oh, I guess we're trying to go slow. I was like,
Yeah.
but yeah, from there they trained a lot, and then we got Kate Bugs.
Oh
She
yeah,
did
she's still doing it. You
Ava's
help Ava too, I'm guessing.
We did summer camps.
Yeah.
Ray
And then
back,
I even, yeah, a bunch of other guys. Like, yeah, you used to
Ida,
help with,
JD Baker.
yeah. Brandon Roberts too used to be pretty good there for a while. Is Brandon still helping you with training? I know he was,
Brandon's fighting fires right now.
yeah, no, he's
He's probably
busy
at
then.
that probably
He's super
firehouse
busy then.
right
Yeah, he's making real money probably.
now. Yeah. But no, it was my school started as like race more like towards racers, because I was racing at the time and promoting my racing. But be honest with you, I call my class the 40-year-old Google class because I live in like the Bay
That's what
Area.
it's turned to. Yeah, now you got people
Bay
showing up with
Area.
a like a cyber truck with their bike on a
They all
hitch
show
in
up
the
with
back.
Teslas. Yep, exactly. When I even bikes, I do rental bikes. You know what I mean? So I do
Yeah,
rental
that's true
bikes too.
too.
So that's pretty much my main, financial capacity is doing that. So I get people that don't know how to ride or street bike riders or rode when they were kids or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've mixed it up. I do intro to dirt classes. I do adventure bike classes, which are pretty popular. I do some hard enduro classes. I do my regular off-road skill classes. Babes in the Dirt coming up next month. You know what I mean? So
Oh, sweet. Do they come in your guys' property?
no, they have a just I go do Babes in the Dirt for like the last 7 years. I go be part of their event. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep. So
That's a cool thing as well.
yeah. Bring some bikes and same thing. A lot of women are getting in the sport right now. It's pretty big for dirt
Dude,
biking.
it's crazy. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I understand it, but like you like look like they're all from like the Pacific Northwest, I feel like too. They're all like Montana, Idaho, and I feel like they probably started as mountain bikers or explorers and realized they can see a hell of a lot more on a
Not more than
motorcycle.
yeah,
Like
up
I'm gonna become a dirt bike person now.
yeah,
Uh
we're doing a training camp on Friday with
oh, with Louise, yeah. I
Ellie.
actually I mean, I've known Louise forever. I'm probably gonna pop in and
Yeah,
say hi and
it's sold out. You know what I mean? So there's 17 women that have
holy crap.
17 women that race hard enduro that are going to be out there just to learn the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
I mean, but 5 of them are going to sign up to race just because 6 of them are going to sign up to race just on the stoke value, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. I was gonna say, like, literally just last weekend, I did a clinic for a bunch of people in Colorado, and I had the second day, like the first day was kind of more beginner based, and it was like the dual sport militia showed up, so it was hard because I had, you have two people who are pretty good, and then you have guys who have like saddlebags still on their bikes, and I'm like, all right, we got a wide realm here. But the second day, I had two girls show up, and they're from like the mountain bike world, and one of them, she's British and she raced like downhill World Cup back in the day. I think she's not quite 50 now, maybe. And
Mhm.
like she gets on the bike and I'm like, well, I'm like, holy shit, you're so good. Why are you even here? I don't even have to teach. I can teach you how to go over the log, but like your body positioning's perfect, like your balance is good. Yeah, I was super impressed. And there was another girl there who was younger probably. I think she used to work for Trek and now she works at like Rock Shocks in Colorado Springs, SRAM. And like this chick too, they were like the two, I mean,
The class,
maybe
yeah.
maybe technical wise they weren't the best, but like they get on the trail and like they were super good. And I was talking to the younger one and she basically said how she's like, oh, I barely want to ride my bicycle anymore. I'm just totally hooked on this dirt bike thing. And I could see it because there's so many other, I feel like popping up. And I mean, Louise with 17 girls in her
Mhm.
class, that's pretty phenomenal for Friday.
Yeah, I do women's only classes, and classes they're all changing numbers in their day, and you know what I mean. Now they got riding partners, and one of the reasons I do the women's only classes just so they build their community and make it stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. Mentioning community, like I got a decent amount of people on here now, but I think I plan on doing a Friday night taco barbecue. So you can come and hang out too, Brian, if you want, but it's for people on here. So I'll probably post something and see how many people. I bought a bunch of shit from Costco yesterday. I just don't know how much I need. So I
Make
got
some
my
spices
I've
and all that stuff, or what? Or is it already seasoned?
I got to season it.
You
I got to
nice.
season it. Yeah. So it's just plain chicken. I got a bunch of bell peppers to grill. And then I probably didn't see, I scored a free Blackstone because someone lost it out of their back of the truck after a country concert. I'm assuming they had a couple too many Coors lattes. So I scored a free Blackstone grill out of that. It was pretty good for me. I was really driving home from the concert and I'm like, oh my God, is that a Blackstone? And like pulled off on the side of the highway, loaded it up in my truck.
Yeah, I was buying steaks and staples and staple guns and hammers for supplies today, and I'm looking at barbecues, and the cheapest one there, Ace, was $798 for a
Holy
barbecue.
crap.
Barbecue there. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's probably one hidden in the back of Donner behind that sketchy like
That's what I said.
condo lodge thing.
Put them off the side of the road, just like Cody
Yeah.
Black does, dude.
Yeah. I forget. Did I talk to you also? I don't know if it was I talked to you or Matt, but one of the winners of the classes for each race, like for the US Hard Enduro and then for the district race, I wanted to give away like a free 6 months or whatever to my training
Awesome.
thing. So
Yeah,
if that's all right,
I might have to sign
I'll
up.
choose a class. I can give you special access because you've helped me through the years. So I'll give back to the
Yeah,
community that helped me.
yeah, that'd be awesome. You know how it works. Just send me the information and make the post or tag me in it, and we'll
Yeah,
get it make it public.
sweet. I just need to decide what class. There's so many classes in that
Yeah,
world.
I don't think it really matters. I think anyone will benefit just from watching you and listening to the information you're able to get.
Yep.
It's like you said, it's good to get information from a lot of different people. And I've actually taken two different riding schools from different trainers in the last few years.
Yeah, just to gain a little bit more insight and knowledge, like to better yourself, right?
Better myself, better my business, right?
Yeah.
See what they run their business and see what I like about it, what they don't like about it, and definitely on the more on the riding side, just better my riding. And that's what's cool about dirt biking is like, styles have changed. You used to brake tap in the air, but now it's more like grabbing the bike and bringing it down with the leg.
Pushing down into it.
You know what I mean? And now you scrub and you keep low. And now with the hard enduro is a whole different sport. And you know what I mean? Now you're doing trials moves, you know what I mean? What was
Yeah.
never, like we never did that when in
It was not a splatter. You're like, what? A splatter is
1998.
when
I
I
wasn't
slam a tree.
1998. I wasn't doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we just had a
Hey,
clutch in the
now
thing.
now things have changed a little bit.
Yeah, just a lot of clutch. Now you don't have to clutch it. The bikes are cheater bikes. Get on one of these
Yeah.
stupid. This is stupid. These things are so easy to ride.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, they're so like, I mean, people show up like a 350 and a 450 and they're trying to do the slow drills. That's super tough, right? But like
You get on
I,
the
I I feel bad. I'm like, don't worry, like you're doing your best, but like these 350s flame out, dude. Like it's not you.
what happened?
I flame these things out. Like
Yeah,
it's not you. But then I get like I had like two people with recluse last weekend, and I'm like, this thing is a death trap. Like they're like, I'm doing like a little thing, like a tight little like a off-camber turn into a downhill, and like the guy falls over, picks up his bike, it's just rolling and out of control backwards. And I'm like, Jesus,
you
the
got the
auto
throttle
clutch is
pretty hard.
scary. Yeah. And people are like, I became such a better rider when I got on the auto clutch. I'm like, but I don't know if you really did because now you just have a huge handicap and you go back to a normal bike. And I think you go backwards, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
It's
then,
a show.
like people ride with like they only use the clutch to take off and then they never use the clutch again until they stop. That's probably the biggest thing to help people, like when you're going up a hill climb, you don't if you start leaning back, you don't chop the gas and then get on it again because you're just gonna fall and you're gonna run out of power, right? So like modulating that clutch, keeping it in the right power.
Yeah, I teach people the
That's been the
friction
hardest
zone.
thing for me to teach people, I think.
I teach them, just trying to tell them to keep it more in the friction zone because people just want to pull it all the way in, you know.
Yeah.
I just tell them, hey, when I ride, I never pull my clutch all the way in unless I stop.
Yeah. Well, your
Otherwise,
finger's in the way, right?
yeah, otherwise I just pull, yeah, otherwise I just pull right in that friction zone, you know what I mean? And learn that friction zone. And you can't teach that, you know. That's the hard thing about being a coach, I think, is you're just talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything that they do, they have to feel. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You go like, you gotta follow the energy. "Oh, I can't feel the brake pedal." Like, yeah, I can't feel it either because I'm not riding your bike. But you know
I
what I
can
mean?
try and guide you.
Like, but I just give it I know where it's at, and then I feel the traction I'm getting, and I feel it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta just practice more till you feel it. You know what I mean?
And
So
I
much
feel like
so much of it's feel. You know?
I have like a whole thing. I mean, it's on like I have a bunch of videos on the training thing, but like I always go to like a hillside and I'm like, all right, I want you to stay in place and don't touch your brakes. So then you just have them like, like trying and like, some people get it right away and others like the ones that only use the clutch to stop and take off, that it's a learning process. I'm like, you're not going to learn this in the next 5 minutes, but you're going to get an idea and you can focus on it from there,
Yeah, yeah. You're doing a lot of rolling backwards and a lot of stalling.
Yeah. It's good for you though.
Yeah.
Teaches you something. All right. Well, I'll let you go. I know you're honestly probably one of the busiest people I know. You always make things work. So I congratulate you for that. But every time I've ridden with you or done anything, I know you're super busy. So
Yeah, we got seven events, races going on, different courses going on this weekend.
yeah. So
It's a lot going on, but it's gonna be good fun. You guys try and show up. Thursday, 2 p.m. Parking's gonna open up. We have a little bit different parking. I changed it up a little bit,
mhm.
so hopefully we get a little bit more room. Mowed some grass, gave some more space
Across the road or
over. Yeah, across the road, and then
yeah.
I rent the property from Union Pacific and Sugar Bowl now, so we can park all the way down like past
Oh,
Sugar.
you park down that way, pretty far down that road.
I mean, it's not convenient, but obviously, right?
Yeah.
For Thursday, but we have parking for everyone, you
It
know.
might be quieter down there. Who knows?
Quieter. But
Um,
last year we did Uber runs, you know what I mean, to get everyone to the bar for the music and all that stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Um, Question for you, like, because obviously you got to pay to park and camp, obviously, because it's people got to make money one way or another. So when you are leasing that land, like, is the money just going pretty much straight to those guys to park there, essentially? I'm
Uh,
guessing, or
I have a contract with the ski resort, and I have a flat rate that I give them, and then I have to give them 50% of my parking,
oh, okay,
and then they tell me how much. They pretty much tell me how much they want, you know.
yeah, yeah, like sweet, cool. All right, well, try and pack as many people as you can into the Donner side, and then overflows at Sugar Bowl.
That's just it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's expensive, but it's you don't get it like you said, the terrain's so awesome, and to get the opportunity to be to ride at the ski resort, you know what I mean, and
And the
have
views, we didn't even talk about the views. The views are insane at that place. Like it's definitely one to hit.
have a lodge, so there's food and alcohol, and if hey, don't want to watch dirt bikes, you can watch the Olympics while everyone else is racing dirt bikes, right? You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
your jam, you know what I mean? So there's something for everyone to do. Good hiking, so good hiking. Come on Friday and check out some sections and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
Don't move
Well,
raw.
and then we do have track walk before we get off. We
I
have
like
this.
track walk.
Okay, track walks in. All right, I'm bringing my e-bike then.
I like track walk. I think it kind of just brings more of the environment to the hard enduro. You know what I mean? You guys all get to
Yeah.
go there and look at it and talk and walk, and just brings an extra day in a sense, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
Safety reasons, right? Too, it's good for
Yeah.
safety. The only thing I don't like about it is that the top guys like you and Tristan are so good. Is you guys can
Now we have an idea where we're going, so we can go even faster through it.
Yeah, I mean, like you watch your GoPro, like I watch the video, like I watch there's all these Donner, I watch all hard, I watch the Donner video, and I watch your GoPro, your video you put out last year of Donner, and it's just amazing. You never stopped,
Yeah.
like you never stopped. you just
There's
had
a couple of hesitations here and
just
there.
had forward momentum the whole entire time, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, he never stops, dude. Just like
I
going
was tired
so
at the end
fast,
last year,
but you're
dude.
just moving forward with the momentum, the whole forward momentum the whole time. Everyone else like has to stop and like look to see where to go, and they clean it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still cleans it, but like you just never stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so cool to like just like how you can carry that forward momentum the whole entire time. It's amazing. So that's the only thing I don't like about it is you get a better idea where to
Yeah, we
go.
go a little bit faster,
Go
but
a little bit faster.
it's good for the rest of the people.
Yeah, but it's all good it's good for us people. So to stay on the course, I put a lot of work into it, right? And the ribbons, I understand they get blown out. If they fall
Yeah.
on the ground, there's a reason because someone went through it. But
Well,
there's
we got Josh Shaker there, another Hollister guy, and he'll probably have eyes on Colton. Colton's been I think Josh and Colton are like best friends, and Josh has had to bust Colton like a few times the last couple of years, but he's been good this year, so I think everyone's keeping it honest.
good thing Colton's pretty relaxed yet.
Yeah,
So
we don't have Colton here, and we don't have Tim Apol, the German kid. I think he cheated any chance he could get.
uh,
Uh, all righty.
all
Well,
right.
thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, and
Yeah, man,
I'll
thank you guys.
see you here in a few days.
I'll see you in a few days.
Yep, looking forward to it. Later.